Got in the mail something called a notice of civil penalty, and it said that I had committed a safety violation by weaving in and out of the toll lane on C-470.
Being an attorney, John couldn't help himself.
Check this out. It says our records indicate that on the date, time, and location listed below, the vehicle identified committed a safety violation on an express lane operated by the Colorado Transportation Investment Office. Check this out, because it wasn't actually a safety violation. It was something else.
It was called a safety violation, but you look up the statute that tolling authority was citing, and it says that they can issue a civil penalty for toll evasion. And I thought to myself, well, I wasn't trying to avoid paying the toll.
He paid it, in fact. So John tried appealing through CTIO.
So they called it a safety violation when it was really toll evasion, but he didn't evade paying the toll. Didn't get away with it, paid the toll, and they exacted a $75 fine against him anyway.
And got an online hearing.
My name is Ilsa Scott. I'm the administrative law judge assigned to this hearing,
where he was denied.
So I've heard your argument on those issues. I disagree with you.
It was a rubber stamp on behalf of the toll authority.
Steve on Your Side reported last year only about
a rubber stamp. It's a money stamp. $75, $75, $75. And this guy's a lawyer, so he has legal knowledge behind him. Most people will be like, $75. Oh my God, this is horrible. I hope I don't ever do that again. And they just go ahead and pay it. And it's going to end up $40 million in tickets just on this one tollway in one state.
6% of people are successful in that hearing process, which cost an extra $30, by the way. So John took his next legal step.
It's up to...
So they're going to shake you down, and for you to go to bat for yourself is going to cost you an addition. They're going to shake you down for $75 for a safety violation, which really wasn't a safety violation. It was a toll evasion, which he really didn't evade the toll. He paid the toll. He paid what he was supposed to pay. They exacted a $75 fine, and for him to go to bat to go against the $75 fine cost him an additional $30. So now he's been shaken down for $105 plus the $2.80 toll that he did pay. So they're treating him as a criminal when they themselves are the criminals that built a system so that they could extract money and then reinforce that system so that you can't even fight against them as they're extracting money from you. And this is truly a scam, truly a shakedown. But wait, there's more.
They have to go to court and initiate the lawsuit and figure out how to bring the tolling authority into the court system, which is difficult.
You heard that right. If drivers want to fight their ticket in a real court, they have to essentially file a lawsuit against the state, serving papers.
And what can you not do when you're in jail? Well, you can't do anything about a lawsuit or with a lawsuit. And on top of that, when they're giving examples of the papers, right, the official documents and stuff, look at this. Motherfucking stamped. Must be nice owning the stamp.
To the Attorney General, creating witness lists, putting forth exhibits.
Download.
Imagine
if you own the stamp. He was going to say, imagine if you own the stamp. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't going to say that. But here's a closer example. This will give you more insight into what I'm trying to get at.
It's Deputy Ross. Mr. Porter. How you doing? Doing all right, sir. Have a couple orders to serve here, okay? So these are going to be 3 copies of...
There's a reason this dude is smiling fucking his ass off. Is because Sean Porter is liked by these guys, and he's actually a good dude, and he's hilarious as fuck, dude. He does some really funny shit. Now, the thing is courts will tell you that they are not the enforcement arm, or they're not the enforcement mechanism, right? Well, think about this. They write a court order, and then the cops have to go give it to the guy, right? And then whenever the guy supposedly violates it, they call the cops to go get the guy and bring him to the courts. I mean, yeah, you're right. The courts don't actually do the force. But think about it. They're the ones who initiated it. They're the ones who gave him the message to deliver. They're the ones who decided that he broke it. And then you put them back in front of the courts, and they get to ultimately decide if that's criminal. And then if not, they can put him on bond and then watch him like a fucking hawk until he does mess up. And then that is a real crime. So who's the bad guy?
Of a temporary peace order through the district court here in Washington County.
Gotcha.
Okay. So the orders are all the same with the language in the guidelines. It's just going to be 3 separate petitioners. Okay. So I'll go ahead and tell you who the 3 petitioners are, and then we'll read through one of them. Unless you want me to read each individual copy to you.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh no, look, I have 16 peace orders. Okay. So you are more than welcome to just read one and.
Okay. So
and just full disclosure, because we're all video and audio recording each other.
Yes, sir.
I posted on Facebook and TikTok before I got here. I didn't know what I was getting posted, but I had a feeling that the government was trying to usurp my First Amendment freedom of speech and right to redress of grievances with government by getting fictitious peace orders against me to kick it past the date that there was going to be a meeting. There was going to be a meeting on Tuesday with 10 people signed up to speak, and they were all going to moon the commissioners with First Amendment protected political messages on their buttholes.
Chubbs over there on the right is about to shit in his pants. He's trying to hold back from laughing so hard. But anyways, on the East Coast, Sean Porter, they call it a fictitious peace order, okay? Lane calls it a fake injunction hearing. They're the same things. It's the same things happening.
Messages on their buttholes. So, long story short, as a result of that, I assumed that it might be something like this, but I didn't know for sure. So I made posts in regard to this potentially happening on TikTok and Facebook that may still be uploading as we speak, but it is uploaded prior to. Could you please state the time for the record, like the official time, so they don't try and say I violated the peace order?
It's Friday, March 21st at 9:48 a.m.
Gotcha. So this post was initiated on 2 different platforms prior to you even contacting me. I'm just putting that out there. So now,
Sir.
Tell me who these people are.
Okay.
Checkmate. But anyways, the fact that he has to do that is sad. And it's so just let me recap. So the reason he said that is because they were actually planning to do that, and he knew that they were going to try to say that they were going to try to give him this peace order, and then it's so close to the day that they were going to do that, to close enough in time to say that he violated it. He knew about this first and then violated it in spite of that, so they can arrest him, just like the courts did to Lane Myers. Now, here's proof, absolute proof, that they tried to do this to Lane Myers.
Right. Let's go. Anything else?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Myers has now opened the door to evidence related to when he has come to the law school in violation of the protection order, which has happened twice.
Well, that's...
What are you talking about? I've never been to the law school except the day since before this injunction was issued. I have not been there since this injunction was issued.
Okay.
She's trying.
Hey! Let me talk to her first.
She needs a bar complaint. Are you going to put a bar complaint on her?
Are you going to be quiet for a moment?
Yeah, I'll make sure you put a bar complaint on her.
Yeah, you can make sure I do anything you want.
Commission of Judicial Conduct, too.
Good. What's the issue? He did not testify that he went to law school. He said it prevented him from going to law school.
Exactly. She's trying to...
It didn't, though. It didn't prevent him from coming to the law school. It didn't, though. It didn't prevent him from coming to the law school. It didn't, though. It didn't prevent him from coming to the law school.
And that's a matter for criminal...
She just stated on the record, sir. Now we need to introduce this onto the record, because now I'm going to get her for perjury.
No,
testify. She needs it. You cannot just let her make her up. You need to formulate the record, sir.
I will strike the testimony.
Thank you.
So whenever there's a court record made of this and they type it out or whatever, it's not going to have that part in it where she tried to say that he violated the injunction against harassment when he actually, in fact, did not. And this is what this is exactly what he's in jail for right now. The same thing that she tried to do with this judge and couldn't get it done is the same reason he's in jail. But the only difference is that's changed between now and then is this time he was able to speak and say something about it. And right now where he's at, he can't. Also, what's even more egregious about this particular case is that they're really trying to stretch the meaning of contact and really stretch the meaning of third-party contact, right? And even if they ignore the fact that it's digital, like under, digital stalking, harassing, or whatever, like cyber stalker type crimes or whatever. If you just want to ignore all that, fine. But again, stretching the meaning of it, and then on top of that, it all hinges upon if the videos are made about her, which that's not you can't even stretch that. Like these videos, okay, the main one, and this is in the evidence or whatever, but the main one is the one where it has her picture on it. It says Shannon Walker, missing in action, Shannon Walker. right? That's the first one she got pissed about. That's the first time she called the cops, in which he didn't know any of this was going on because he just made a video, whatever. And a month later, then he was in the courtroom with her because she brought him to court for the injunction against harassment. And they're still trying to use it. But here's what I think, and I'm pretty sure I can prove it. I mean, it's not up to me really, but 316, or here in the latest evidentiary hearing, which I guess is called a no bond hearing, because she came into the hearing after that, the pretrial or whatever it is, and said that she didn't bring any evidence or anything with her because they had the bond hearing. Well, she didn't bring any with her because there's nothing left to show. But one of the voicemails that they left, she said that voicemail came in on 316. I believe that it was made it was recorded. I believe it was recorded sometime in October or November or even December. I don't think it was recorded on that day, and I'll show you why. Again, we're going to analyze this video and see if it's about Shannon. Well, all Lane's videos are about him and his court cases. So I mean that's the fact. But even we're just going to entertain the idea right now. Now the title of it, unless it was just her name, and even in that case, I wouldn't say that's about her because there can be any kind of contents underneath it. But MIA, Shannon Walker, University of Arizona. That could be about the University of Arizona, or it could be about a person missing in action, or it could be, you know what I mean? It's not specifically, directly, obviously about her, okay?
Is grouping together. They still haven't called me back. I said, hey, I'm going to hit you guys with a lawsuit. Give me a call. Nobody's called me back. The police haven't called me back. So they obviously think they're going to get away with it.
Press 1 for the clinics and legal referral services. Press 2 for the admissions office. Press 3 for the law library. Press 4 for the alumni.
She's browse our directory. Is you can hear me.
To this point right here, her picture has been shown for 1 minute and 13 seconds. 1 minute and 13 seconds, her picture's been up. And I don't see any information right there because I think they took down her phone number. So it was just her picture, which is whatever. Anyways, he goes on to pull up a show like 17 more pictures of people that work there. And then puts another lady's picture up there and then calls her
email. It's public. And then let's just call the law college main number. Let's see if we can do this on here, and you can hear me.
Press 4 for the alumni.
This woman is Rodri.
Her picture stays up from 3:30 to 4:40, so a minute and about the same time, 1 minute and 15 seconds or something. I'm sorry, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Oh well, minute and 15. Who cares? About the same amount of time Shannon Walker's picture was up, except this time. Oh, and then he goes back to her picture, a different one, and then he calls her, and then he says this.
I give the benefit of the doubt that people are good, and they're because I don't want people judging me by like, oh yeah, he's this, and then that means everything. So let me be fair here. She's a woman. She's running. Democrats are people too, and so I mean, at the end of the day, we all got to live together anyways if it's going to be better. So.
Right, it sounds like a complete criminal, right? Sounds like a really criminal activity right here. Anyways, my point is well, and then after this, so he, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I mean, you can watch the video or whatever, but he talks about his dad for 6 minutes, and then we watch. He puts on a music video that we watch for another 4 minutes. So that's the rest of the video. So if anything, I would say this video is about his dad. But anyway. What he's about to say here is why I think that the message that she played on 316 was fake. So let's listen to the message and then I'll play what he's about to say.
They call my dad Lawrence Joseph of Maximum Myers because we put our maximum into everything.
Publicly available public information video. He put that one up and that displayed her email address. It displayed her phone number. And both of those then caused the communication with the other. He knew that this would happen because he was on notice. As you heard from the testimony yesterday, Mr. Myers has acknowledged that he knows his followers reach out to the victim. He knows that this happens. So he's on notice of that. He knew that the nature of the type of the contact they have. And so he's still doing it. So he's still eliciting them to then reach out to the victim. The definition of harassment means conduct directed at a specific person, which would cause a reasonable person to be seriously alarmed, annoyed, harassed, and the conduct, in fact, seriously alarms, annoys, and harasses the person.
Wow. Conduct, right? Conduct is not speech, bitch. Conduct is doing something. Clicking your mouse and talking is not conduct. And I'm dead serious. Somebody needs to give her, after this is over, give her a competency exam. Because, listen, she has not correctly used the word subscriber one time, right? And then she's going to read a definition as if we can believe what she's saying. She literally cannot read. She cannot get it right. There's no word. The word follower is nowhere in any of the interface, the two different interfaces for your phone or for your computer that YouTube has, right? So she is, oh my gosh, dude, I can't believe it. And then even right here, she gets on and reads the definition and she says, is conduct. The very first thing that comes out of her mouth is conduct. And then she's talking about somebody else making a phone call and using words. Speech is not conduct, lady. If the definition of harassing, the very first thing is the word conduct that is to whatever, then it's not harassing because it's not conduct that you're accusing him of. And number 2, 3, or number 4, whatever, she's so incompetent that she cannot even do the one thing at an arraignment that you're supposed to do and to clearly state what the person is being charged with. She literally spent 12 minutes talking about nothing, accusing him of all kinds of stuff, but never telling him specifically what his charges are and what they mean. She, in fact, never brought up a charge, period. She just said crimes. So in her job, she's completely incompetent. And just in general, she can't even understand. She's trying to read definitions of words. She can say the words, but her understanding of them is not there at all. And some words, like subscriber, she somehow flips all the letters around to make it a wholly different word, and then it can't correct that. You know what I mean? She's incompetent. She is an incompetent moron. And if that's not bad enough, she's an unethical incompetent moron because she has information that says that Mr. Myers also told his her whole case is based on the fact that he told his followers to call people, right? Well, what if he also told his followers to not call people? What if she was sitting on that information and she hasn't said anything about it? That would make her unethical. So she's an unethical moron fucking prosecutor and she can suck balls. Okay, sorry, dude. This just frustrates me. Anyways, I'm going to let this bitch bury herself. So here we go.
One of them specifically references, it was the gentleman who was coughing throughout, specifically references the content that was contained within that slapping style sanction video. And so it's
no, bitch. No, it doesn't. It contains content in the video, though. You guys were going to do this before, but he thwarted your plans because he wouldn't let you guys make fake testimony. And now you're trying to use the video that you recorded back then to match this video. Y'all are stupid. You're fucking caught. Let Lane fucking free. This is the slapping style sanction part she was talking about, but I can't find any specific instance where she was talking about.
Because that means it's like way more serious. Let's watch what this person's supervisor said.
And this blows her third-party contact theory out of the water.
Look at that. They're playing good cop. They're even playing good cop, bad cop at the Tucson police. That cop took her report and put a warrant on me. This cop says, on October 22nd, I was contacted by Matthew Walker via Shannon Walker. They wanted to add an additional violation of the injunction against harassment. Lane Myers posted another live video on 10/21/2024, which discussed Shannon Walker and the order itself. It was titled, Mike Oxlong Reports, Lost the First Amendment. Can't find it.
Every single one of Rachel Stiles' ridiculously just, outrageously loud and annoying rants about how bad Lane Myers is and about how big of a criminal he is and how much criminal time he's going to do and mandatory this and that. Out of all that time she spent fucking brainwashing people against him, she'd never ever mentioned that he said to his followers, to his subscribers, to not call Shannon. She never once mentioned that. Doesn't she have a duty to mention something that can possibly be exonerating, or it can possibly be not? You know what I mean? Doesn't she have some kind of duty? I read somewhere to do that. What a bitch, dude. Now check this out.
He also mentioned for people to not contact
sanction video. And so it's clear that that communication was in direct response to that video. It references the University of Arizona, which is referencing the injunction that he put up. And
the one that I'm showing you fits the time frame better, and it directly quotes the University of Arizona and exact words that he uses in that one.
We only played a clip of that. The court does have the full video, and in the full video, he does.
I claim to have shown it to you, but I didn't, because I just gave it to the court and let them hide it too. So you never even saw it.
17.
Mr. Pervin?
An objection. I don't know for sure which one this is. And again, it's on March 19th, which is, I'm not sure what the relevance of it compared to what we're dealing with happened on March 17th or sooner.
Over the defense objection, I will admit states 16 and 17. And Detective, we're not saying that any of these are actually Mr. Myers. These are other people that are sending these emails and voicemails.
Correct. Right? These are all other people. These are all third parties.
No, other parties like Matt Walker, Shannon Walker.
Okay.
She's saying the slapping Stiles sanctioned video is directly related to this because of the mention of the University of Arizona is connected to this voicemail. I don't disagree that it's connected to this voicemail is connected to a video, but it's not the slapping Stiles sanctions one on 3/16 or whatever, and on March of this year. It's from one in October, because you remember October 10th is when she got the injunction, and then if you were gonna, fake a bunch of phone calls and record your voice and then use that as evidence, then wouldn't you do it right when you got served with the injunction, like on the 15th, 16th, right?
But yet you filed false charges. I'm curious too how long you dated Lane when he was your boyfriend. Were you betraying Matt when you were doing that? Was this before you and Matt got married? Excuse me. You're disgusting, lady. I can't wait for the world to get sick of your crap. All right, bye. At the University of Arizona College of Law. Arizona College of Law.
You know us, we benefit of the doubt that people are good, and they're, because I don't want people judging me by like, oh yeah, he's this, and then that means everything. So let me be fair here. She's a woman. She's running. Democrats are people too, and so I mean, at the end of the day, we all got to live together anyways if it's going to be better. So I would not have no problem with a law scholar. A law scholar.
Arizona College of Law.
Who's running for office to represent me, help me, right?
Arizona College of Law.
A law scholar.
And that last one we listened to, State 17, was that referencing one of the videos he had posted?
Yeah, so the information from that voice message would have came from the slapping Stiles sanctions video where he's discussing the police reports where it first mentions that the Mrs. Walker and Lane were exes or in a relationship.
Yes. Ask you, is it your ex-boyfriend or whatever?
See, and even if it wasn't them that made the video, which I know it is, but even if it was an actual person, this would have been on 10/19 when that report was made discussing the ex. This call, like I'm saying, it was end of October, like because 10/10 is when she got the injunction, and then this report was 10/19. So yeah, if it was somebody who called in, which is stupid that they would hang on to that detail about the ex, because that is helpful to nobody, and it was never a big thing in any of this, and it only means something to help them have a basis for for a protective order, which we know that what's her name, Stacey Jane, tried to get on him. I mean, she literally just that whole hearing just kept repeating protective order and repeating stuff that Rachel Stiles herself and the judge have all repeated in the exact same order with the same words. This is too many coinky dinks to ignore. They're guilty.
Lost the First Amendment. Can't find it. He also mentioned for people to not contact the plaintiff in that incident. Lost the First Amendment. Can't find it. He also mentioned for people to not contact the plaintiff in that incident. People to not contact the plaintiff in that incident. People to not contact the plaintiff in that incident. Lost the First Amendment. Can't find it. He also mentioned for people to not contact the plaintiff in that incident.
Now, get him out of jail and accept service for these lawsuits you're about to get and pay that man his money.